products for me to test out and play around with. They even gave me my own affiliate code, which I am so appreciative. Thank you, Sigma, so much for reaching out to me and letting me be a part of your family. Here is my Sigma code right here. You can use that. It is TARALYNN. You can use it to get 10% off. They have tons of sales. I'm really, really excited to kind of dive into the whole Sigma world. I have not really used a lot of products from Sigma, so today I'm kind of playing around with them. Now, I've already filmed this video once before and I lost all the footage. I don't know what happened, but the memory card that I filmed it on was destroyed and I lost all of the footage, which is such a bummer, but it gave me a chance to kind of play around with the products again and kind of give you a little bit better of an opinion on it based on just being a first impression like it was when I first filmed it. These are the two big boxes that they sent me, all packaged up nice and cute. Like, it's kind of a mess now. They sent me a ton of brushes to try out to get me started. They sent me an eyeshadow palette. They sent me a lipstick, mascara, blush, eyeliner, like a lot of stuff. They also sent me the brush cleaner along with these two to clean. So later on in the video, I'm going to show you guys how I clean my brushes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, let's just jump right into me playing around with all this stuff from Sigma Beauty, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. So I'm going to go ahead and put on this Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation, and I'm going to use this Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush. It's a good brush. I like this brush. I'm gonna continue to use it and see how I like it, but so far so good. Now, they did send me a blush, but I'm not a fan of the blush, you guys. Like, it's super hot pink shade. This is in the shade Nymphaea, I guess is how you pronounce it. I don't even know. I don't like the shade. It's super duper duper pink. Now, they sent this brush over. This is the large powder F30 brush. Now, it kind of has a tapered, so as you can see, it's kind of thin and it's like flat, a little bit on the tapered side. And I'm just gonna apply, you know what, this is not stiff enough for a bronzer for me, but it does seem like it would be a nice brush for powder. It's wispy enough to really, you know, put the powder all over the face and be very airbrushed like. But as far as bronzer goes, not so much. This is the large angled contour brush, so you could probably use this one for blush or bronzer. I'm gonna go ahead and dip this in here and just start kind of pouncing this right here. Okay, personally, this one has more of a stiffness to it, and this one has more of a bend to it. So personally, I still like the Morphe E4 for blush, more so than this one from Sigma. This is the Sigma Tapered Highlighter. This is the F35. Now, I used this and I've been using it ever since. I think for me, this is one of my favorite highlighter brushes because I do like how it is tapered, and I like how when, you know, you go into the product, and I just kind of do this action, but the way that it applies it, I really like it much more than I do the other brushes that I've been using. Now, of course, you guys know that, you know, even though Sigma was so kind to give me my own code, if there are brushes in here that I don't like, or there's products in here that I don't like, you guys know that the honesty is always my #1. I'm not doing this for discount codes. I don't do YouTube for discount codes and all that stuff. I'm doing YouTube because I love interacting with all of you guys. And so I really like this brush. Personally, it is a really good, nice brush. This is the Warm Neutrals Volume 2 palette. These shades are very, very pretty. I'm going to pick up this diffused crease brush. This is the E30 brush. I'm going to go into the shade Toasty, which is the last one on the first row. Now, like I said before, I have used this palette And there was a few shades that were not my favorite, but I actually really like this palette. I like the shades in the palette, and I do like how kind of small and like travel friendly this palette is. I'm going to go into the shade Henna, which is the second one on the second row. And the only reason why I went in with the lighter shade is because I really wanted a little bit of that dimension. So now I'm just gonna kind of blend this out. Now that is a very pigmented shade. When they sent me this PR package, I've never used anything from Sigma. Now, I think I have maybe like 1 or 2 of their brushes, but I just really haven't used a lot of Sigma products. So I was really excited when they reached out and wanted to send me some stuff to try, and I'm really excited about it. And I really like this brush. I'm kind of impressed with the way that it lays the shadow down and the way that it allows me to really work that eyeshadow in and not have to switch brushes and go in to diffuse it out. So I like this brush, and I really like that shade. I'm gonna go into the shade Iconic, which is right next to it, and it's a shimmer shade, so I'm basically just placing that right on top. So I do want to put a shade on the lid, but I'm not exactly sure what shade I want to do. I really like the second shade in the palette, which is called Charmer, and then Beaming is more of like a, ooh, it's like a violet pink shade. I really like that shade. I think I'm gonna go in with both of them. I'm gonna go ahead and use my felt tip applicator. I'm first going in with Beaming, and I'm just kind of putting that right here, more towards the middle. And I'm gonna go into the shade Charmer, which is the first highlighter shade. It's the second shade in the palette, but it's the first one that's like a highlight shade. Oh, it's so pretty, you guys. Look how pretty that is. Cutting out that crease was just perfect. It took a second to do it, but it's like perfect. Those two shades right there, these two right here are very pigmented, and they're very, very pretty. I'm really impressed with the way they applied. This is the Sigma E25 brush. Kind of goes and tapers into a little bit of a point. So I'm gonna go into that shade Henna, the second one right here. And I want to just kind of deepen that right above where we added and just kind of diffuse those lines. Like I don't want to take away from the cut line, but I also want to diffuse that line out just a little bit. I like this one. I like this brush. This is a nice brush. So I want to dip between Henna and Rogue. So I'm just going to literally dip back and forth between those two shades, because I don't want Rogue to be like overpowering my outer corner. So for the lower lash line, they have this brush that's called the E30. It's a pencil brush. I'm gonna go first into the shade Toasty, kind of build up that lower lash line with it. This brush is working really good for this, so I don't mind it. So now I'm gonna go into the shade Henna and just kind of tap back and forth between those two shades, and I'm gonna pop that over top of Toasty. And I will have all the brushes and everything I used listed in the description box down below. Now they did send me their Iconic. I've heard so many people rave about this liquid eyeliner. This is in the shade Wicked. It's a gel eyeliner, and it's black. And they sent over this winged liner brush. This is the E06. I'm going to put the extra right here on my hand so that I don't put too much on. Now, I don't typically like this kind of liner, but for the sake of the video and for the sake of this kind of, you know, just to try to test out this product, I'm going to put it on and let you guys know if I like it. Eyeliner. It is more of a matte, and it dries pretty quick. It goes on, you still have time to kind of move it around. It's not like it dries instantly. You do have time to kind of move it around and place it where you want. I really like this brush. This is a good brush, you guys. And I think, you know, this is small enough, and I think you could totally use this for your eyebrows. I feel like this would be a good brush to use when you're using maybe a pomade and you kind of tip up that brush and you want to make those natural hair strokes. I think this would be a good brush for that too. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on this mascara. This is what the actual wand looks like. Now I used it on my upper lashes and it's kind of got a nice angle to it. It's a little bit bigger than I like normally, but it's kind of stiff. It's a thinner formula, so if you guys like that thinner formula, you'll like this mascara. I'm gonna pop this on my lower lashes so that you guys can see how it looks. This isn't bad. This is not bad mascara. I'm kind of impressed by it, actually. So their lipsticks are called Power Sticks, and I believe this is in the shade In Spades. Okay, it's very, very pink. This one has that little bit of a chalk to it, but it also is very creamy and very pigmented. So as you've seen, I didn't apply it with any kind of lip liner or anything like that. This is a beautiful color. It just doesn't go with my eye look. So I need to find one that's actually gonna go with my eye look. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out my KKW Beauty. This is the lip liner in shade Nude 2, and it is my favorite lip liner. I'm gonna use this shade from Nars. This is in the shade Bound. That was definitely the perfect lip combination for my eyeshadow look that I have going on. So I just ran out of the brush cleaner that I use from Morphe. It's in a little tub. I'm really excited to test this one out from Sigma Beauty, and I'm gonna take you guys with me so that you guys can see me using this product and seeing how I am going to clean my brushes. This is what the box looks like. It's this huge box. I am so excited to use this, you guys. Like, I really, really hope that it works good because I'm really picky. My thing is, I want it to work good and quick and not waste it. I'm gonna take you guys into my second kitchen. I'm not gonna take you up to my big kitchen because my bigger kitchen is upstairs and I got my family up there. So I'm gonna use my kitchen that's just off of my theater, and I'm gonna show you guys how I clean my brushes. So I'm gonna use this stuff, and I'm gonna also use this just to show you guys how I use it. Things that we use today. You guys know I love the foundation brush. I love the highlighter brush. This highlighter brush is awesome. Love it, love it, love it. I did like the brushes that I used in my eyeshadow, so I'm gonna start using these more and more. I am gonna buy more brushes from Sigma that kind of matches some of the brushes that I use from Morphe to see if I like them, and I will definitely let you guys know which brushes I have found are my favorite. But so far, I would say of everything I used today, these four are my favorite. The Sigma F80, the Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35, and I really like this diffused crease, the E38, and I also really liked this pencil brush for my lower lash line. This is the E30. So these four brushes are a total plus for me. Now I have used the blush, and I think that it worked fine. Like, I think the pigment is perfect. I did use it in the first tutorial in the footage that I lost, and I liked it. I thought it was a very pretty blush. The problem is I didn't like the shade of it. It made me look like a painted doll, which is the reason why I didn't use it today. I do think that they're very pigmented. I just felt like this blush was just a little bit too bright for me. Let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. I'm obsessed with this eyeshadow palette. I love the look that I created with it. And I do think that I'm going to be using this palette a lot. I really like the shades in this palette, and these two particularly, you can see the shadow on my eyelids are very, very, very bright and very poppin', and I didn't have to wet them down. So this is a very, very pigmented palette, and I'm really impressed with how creamy these shadows are. I do love this palette. I do love the look that I created with it, and these are very, very pigmented shadows, and I think they're really good quality. I'm gonna buy more palettes from Sigma. I think that this is a good palette for like everyday use. And you can create a very light, easy, everyday look, or you can create more, you know, something a little bit more along the lines of this, where it's a little bit more of a eyeshadow look. You know, maybe you're gonna go on a date or a special occasion, but I really like it. As far as the lipstick formula, I really like it. I think it's very creamy, like I said. Even though it does have that chalk, it doesn't slip and slide. I also like that it has this little magnet that helps to kind of keep it closed, which I am obsessed with that. I really like that. I think it's very unique how they have that. And yeah, I'm excited about it. Now, one thing I want to tell you guys about the actual brushes themselves, they are built a little bit differently than what we are used to from Morphe. So as you guys know, I buy a lot of my brushes from Morphe. So this ferrule is actually screwed on to the handle, so it doesn't come off. I think that's one thing that I think that is different from the Sigma brushes compared to the Morphe. I do think that the quality is a lot better than Morphe. I do love most of my Morphe brushes. I've never really had, you know, I know that I've heard horror stories about Morphe brushes, but personally, I've always enjoyed my Morphe brushes. But I do think that the Sigma is definitely a better quality brush than the Morphe. You can tell just by holding it, it's a better brush. You can tell they take a lot of pride in the way that they create these brushes. They take a lot of pride in that. Let's compare the Morphe Y6 from this one. This is the Kabuki. This one is probably a better brush than this one. This one just feels like it's more expensive or better built. This one's very light, and I do know that there is a significant price difference between these two, so that obviously you got to take that into account. But I do think this is a better brush. I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to be fun to play around with, and I really appreciate Sigma welcoming me to their family and giving me my own affiliate code. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed all the products that you guys sent to me. The eyeliner I really, really like. Like I said earlier, if you guys like to do a winged liner, I think that you will love this eyeliner. I think it's got that really nice matte formula, and I felt like it just really worked good. I just use more of a pencil because it's faster and quicker, and I don't wear winged liner. So if you wear a winged liner, highly recommend these two together. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I want to thank Sigma for welcoming me to your family. Thank you guys so much for the discount code. Again, it is TARALYNN, all caps, and you can use that code to get 10% off. Thank you guys so much again. I hope you guys have a fantastic week filled with love, happiness, and joy. I love you guys so much. Bye.